All this explanation for the trade is in the last review. So watch that. Whether it's in the half crypto, half FX one, but it's in there. And I won't waste your time by repeating it. We all know the reasons. So we're going to carry on. And what's going to happen now? So, I mean, just briefly going over it. The reasons why we got long, using a different range, was because one of the main reasons was it's at range highs, as you all know. Okay, I'm going to briefly go over it. Just it sets the context for us anyway. There's a range highs area, okay, and it's so that's point one. Natural SR level we believe is range bound to prove it otherwise. Equities are pushing lower. Dollars off of range highs towards, we assume towards mid-range, range lows. Dollar still pushing up. There's no reason to believe this is a legit breakout till it breaks out. Okay. Secondly, if we're looking at the range levels, you see the two girthy ones. These are all in the reviews. You have to watch it. This is where those that have to force to study will have to study because I don't handhold. The mid-range here is the equivalent to the mid-range that bottomed the market out. So if it's going to turn from here, the mid-ranges give us the big pivotal movements, the thick ones and the mid-range ones. Okay, see when that thick level broke cleanly? Okay, that's the first initial spike. Boom, look at that. Okay, so even here, so that's the equivalent to this here now. Okay, now we're waiting with the confirmation. It hasn't given us confirmation just yet. So what would that be? So I've still got my stops in place. That does not mean I'm going to hold this position. It's only like nearly 2R, 1.92R. But it's not about R for me. It's about, I'm going to step in where I'm wrong. It could be smaller size. But once it confirms the invalidation, I probably wouldn't mind one more run up on here, to be honest with you. But that's why I'm completely wrong on the idea. Unless it does a really fuck you move. Well, okay. I'm going to lose what I've already accepted that I've put in. The real move for a confirmation would be, okay, there's two plays. Say you weren't in the trade idea. We know that this dotted line is that high there. So it's one attempt, two attempts already. It may do a third one. We don't know yet. Crypto being crypto. However, plans remain the same in regards to that. Where if it does, and then one way is, if you're not already in or whatever, you can attempt there. I'd do smaller size, half or a third. But then it's below January's high you want to get on board. Or if you did it from here, if it gets below January's highs and holds, then I will look to trail my stops, depending on how price looks like, because it could break and then reject back up. But then, if it looks good by then we've got a new validation. Or I can take it as a separate day trade till the day closes, because if the day closes below January's high, that most likely means we've reclaimed this is the deviation above January's high, and then that could start off as a separate day trade, or take Ethereum and play targets, and towards the mid-range. Does that make sense? Is everybody clear? So we're still waiting. I mean, what's the market done? The market's done nothing really. It's just chop. I'm not talking about scalps. If you want a scalp, that's fine. That's up to you. This for me is not even a scalp. I don't like that. I don't like trading these pairs. I'm going to look over some alts as well, by the way. A couple of alts, not all, because they all depend on what the Bitcoin's going to do. The moment Bitcoin, like I said, confirms, we will jump into the alts for shorting. Okay? Even then, I prefer Bitcoin Ethereum personally. It's just I can do my size I want. I don't have to, like, me doing one tweet, even my I'm moving Matic for God's sakes, and that's a high volume pair. But see, if it's going to move anyway, it's going to move regardless of what I say. Okay? So I'm not manipulating. I said I'm not even in the trade. I just said it's a system gave a swing short, and that swing short was just a off resistance area. I'll go over that as well. And there is a trade on there for you guys if you want to take it. We will cover it one step at a time. And then the other ways of looking at it is, obviously, you all know the June or July range, July low. That was the initial high made in July. So that's the range. This is a smaller range. If you want to wait for that confirmation play, no problem at all. It's doing the same thing, isn't it? You can wait for market to get below here. If it gets below here, then that's your confirmation towards here and then there. So that's another range you can use. This is all in the previous review. Go watch that more detail. I just briefly went over it. Okay, let's move on to Ethereum now. Oh, a similar thing. Ethereum is coming below January's high. Looking at FBTC now, I posted FBTC chart if you recall. Now let me find that fucker. I've lost it, haven't I? It's lost in the wilderness somewhere. Yeah, I've lost it. Well, that's no problem. We'll find it again. FBTC looks a bit weaker. Oh, RSR as well. I think it's a good show. I posted yesterday just for a laugh, and so I just wanted to see the power of SZ on Twitter. But FBTC looking weaker. But I think the all will roll over. When Bitcoin rolls over, the alts get fucked extra hard, don't they? So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if we're going to look at FBTC, and the reason why it's important to look at FBTC is to see which one to take. Now, if they're going to nuke, if we're correct in the Bitcoin idea, this is going to nuke regardless. But we can also look for a pair to, like, you know, say, okay, are alts getting shanked harder? Usually they do when this is the situation. But this is still a key pivot support area. So another reason why I went for Bitcoin short is because if this takes a little bounce due to Bitcoin being really weak, then Bitcoin could be the proper short. But usually what happens at the same time is if Bitcoin drops, we all know alts drop harder. Are we in agreement with that? If Bitcoin drops, alts drop harder, don't they? So the alt BTC pairs get shanked just as hard. It's usually the alt BTC pairs usually go up. Somebody's alarm's gone off. Alt BTC pairs usually go up when say Bitcoin's consolidating and alts want to make a run. That's usually the case, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, I think we could probably, if you want to add maybe F or something. But yeah, if this was to break down below and hold, then the next objective would be towards here, wouldn't it? Right? Now that would mean F is the better short. Doesn't mean Bitcoin won't. You can still take Bitcoin. It's just F will drop harder. So keeping that in mind, if this was to happen, I mean, you don't really have to focus too much on that either. Well, this is starting to show signs now, isn't it? Now, if you wish to wait and say, you know what? This is the region I choose to call my deviation area. Oopsie daisy. This. Okay. Well, if you want to play aggressive, now I'm already in Bitcoin. I probably if I was in Bitcoin, and I would have shorter F around here anyway, I'd cut a clean break above here. So I'd cut it where my Bitcoin violation is. Now what I'm waiting for is a nice, clean, easy peasy, lemon squeezy trade. Let's mark out a quick day trade. A quick day trade could be, if you wish to take it. I'm not. I'm relaxed right now. I'm focusing on Bitcoin, but that would be clean break and hold below. Trigger, target 1. If it comes into here, stops go to break even. If it starts to bounce, I'll cut it. Now at this point, if it gives me trigger and then starts to reclaim, get the fuck out. Be quick to get out. That's a day trade. Is that understood? Risk on to BTC, which we got a new violation. Yes, yep, you can do that if you want. Yep. It's up to you. It's not right or wrong way. It's up to you, mate. Okay? But if FBTC is falling, most likely, and Bitcoin and Ethereum falling, Ethereum's probably going to drop harder. That's all. But it's up to you. I mean, I just like playing Bitcoin. It's cleaner for me. You know, I can put the volume I want in there. That's the main reason why I do that. I find it cleaner. But again, you know, some people just like trading purely alts. Again, how many can you manage at the same time? I usually stick to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and take the odd alt outside of that. But that's just me. Okay, you could choose the alts. So that would be a short-term day trade, which has the capability of evolving target 2, target 3, ultimately the mid-range here. If we look at it from a different perspective, okay, this is perfectly valid, and this is what we discussed previously, didn't we, in the stream? So if you watch the stream, you would know range high, range low. This so far, there's no reason to believe this isn't this. So the moment it makes a clean break below here and hold, then it's game on. And then, okay, maybe target 1 area there, target 2, and target 3 in towards the January's mid-range. After that, we'll see. We'll see after that. Is that clear? So I marked out a possible day trade, which has the capability or possibility of evolving, but we've got the Bitcoin swing position running. When things evolve, usually after they top out, is when we can add and more positions with confidence, because we've got a top probability of a top in. Does that make sense? So relax. How many times did we add in the middle here? Many times. Okay, so this I keep repeating that just to reinforce that. Because some people get led astray, FOMO, this, that, the other. Listen, we're probably the first one to show this. I may be wrong on the idea, but following the rules state this, and you know, we're still range bound. That's it. Let's move on Matic now. Now Matic, for aggressive play, just get that out with. If you want to short Matic, you can short it here, cut on the clear break above here, target there. Straight up, that's it. Now let's break down the detail for this. If you want to play that, I've got a quarter size short, just to fuck about on this. But I'm focusing on Bitcoin Ethereum myself. This is why I won't That's why I don't post this. I only post on the members feed the clear cut plays. We'll have a look at INJ, but I won't be taking requests of 100 alts. I've already got the ones up, but I'll add an INJ. Because they're all the same, okay? They're all the same. Now, what we'll be doing, and I'll add Lena as well. So what we're doing, see this here? Look at this. Would you agree? Would you agree? It's coming to this. That's the mid-range level. I'll show you what the mid-range for that. It's just coming off of that, isn't it? Main reason was Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So this could easily top out there, but once they started to weaken, my tweet probably caused a bit of selling pressure on this. Now, I'm not gonna take the blame for that. It's not my fault. Matic is big enough to deal with itself, but my point is my system triggered my system, Asian Quant, as you all know him by, Asian Quant, sometimes the brown quant, sometimes the yellow quant. Who cares? We're all colored people. White, brown, black, who gives a fuck? It's not order block, it's just a consolidation that hadn't been retested. If you want to call it order block, you can call it order block if you want. But the complete invalidation was above here. Now there's two ways of doing this. One from there towards here. I always wait for the top to be confirmed when I post to you ledgers, because we only take the high probability trade that makes high probability money. And that is it. So what I'll be looking for, if it is gonna nuke, it's gonna nuke big, because alts excuse me, nuke big. Break below. There we go. Deviation. Key SR. You can see the flip, deviation. That's where I'll be looking for the short. Wipe out these lows. That's where, and that would then be a deviation of the range level there. So this is a small one. That's the main one. That's the high probability one. Are you with me? Do you see zones as order blocks? No, not really. No, I don't see zones as order blocks. No. No. I just see them how I tell you I see them. That's it. Whatever I'm telling you, that's all I see them as. Nothing else. Okay? Does that make sense? So that's the high probability. Don't worry, you ain't missed out on shit. This is the high probability play. Okay? Everybody with me. Just like here. See this here? And then the real move is this. That's the high probability move. I can put some balls deep position behind. Maybe a bit of a breakdown there in violation. Nuke that son of a bitch. If you were going to look at it from a pure SR point of view, let's look at that as well. A bit of this. I mean, this is a bit wonky, but you know what I'm going to say? Some of these trend line techniques. Look at that. They work brilliantly. Watch this. It's like a channel thing, isn't it? Right? This can be an violation if you want. There. And that is a deviation. In cut and a clean break above, play to the channel bottom. It's another way of looking at it. It's the same thing, but we're looking at it different ways for different types of profit targets, because this is proving to us this likes to play the channels. Some alts like playing channels. Maybe some algo set on there. Does that make sense? But regardless, the outcome is the same, isn't it? The trigger is normally the same. We're looking at it from a different point of view. But this is just looking at it from different angles and further reinforcing that the trigger is just an excuse for entry. Patterns are, it's all about the context. Clear? Cut. Let's move forward. Okay. So that's that done. Nothing more to it. I'll just add INJ here while we're here. And then I'll do link and that's it. I'm not taking requests. No INJ. If you want to trade this, by the way, I'm not going to trade it. I mean, this is just a request. Let's actually clean this up, actually, because I did a big move. Okay, I think there's I know there's a few wells pumping this behind this, but their day will come soon, and I think they're exiting right now, according to Asian Quant. See, a lot of these are manipulated as fuck. Okay, and they would have exited by now. I mean, nobody's holding that. I mean, they don't need to hold all the way to the top. They'll just get this, and then they'll start tweeting or DMing people on Telegram. Oh, big whales are buying here. You motherfucker, they were buying there. Why are you telling me they're buying here now after this move? He goes, yeah, you're right, you know. I go, they're dumping on you, you dickhead, and you're trying to tell me? Fucking idiot. But yes. No. The zone. You want the zone. You see this here? This was like a zone area, wasn't it? This cluster. This cluster was the top. Okay, support, cluster, support, there. So if I want to be aggressive, I'd cut out a clean break above here, and I'll play it back down towards here really. Target 1, take out these stops, target 2 here. There's no reason why you can't do that. The other way of looking at it is this likes to follow some trend line technique as well. See that there? So if you want to avoid this, you can play, I mean, if you want to take aggressive, take small, cut to the clean break above here. Then 1 second, you break below here, boom, deviation. There, play towards there then. Is that clear? That's the higher probability play. And you know that when these son of a bitches nuke, fast in one go. Does that make sense? We will be doing more alts as Bitcoin confirms. But for now, I want Bitcoin to confirm. Then Asian Quant comes in and we'll be nuking it, all of them together. But I have to confirm it first. Of course, they're all the same. This is at the end of the day, right? How many are you going to pick? All the alts are doing the same. Further proof. And this isn't this further conviction behind an idea where you see, you think Bitcoin's at resistance. Okay. What you do is, remember I used to say, sometimes I look at XRP for Confluence. Remember? Or sometimes I look at Litecoin for Confluence. Because if they're a macro resistance that's going to change from here on its own merit, well, okay, it's not going to do on its own usually. They're all going to be, it's all one big, exactly. One big trade. He said it, Ryoki said it. They're all the fucking same. They really are the same. How much more do you want me to do? Link is coming off key resistance cluster or consolidation, whatever you want to label it. This, oh, your mom's tits. Here. How you want to label it? That big consolidation there. What you want to wait for? Okay, show me the deviation. Smack that bitch. Invalidation. Back down towards here's target 1. Possibly target 2. But let's just go with target 1 for now once the deviation confirms. Now that is it. Oh shit, they're nuking on live on stream now. RSR. I posted this yesterday for a laugh yesterday. I wanted to see what happens. But same thing. You want to take RSR? You can short it. I'd cut it on a clean break above September's open, because then that's like a confirmation. Otherwise, this is still range bound. Okay. If you want to look at it like that, if you want to wait for the deviation, that's fine. Get it below here. Trigger there. Those are the higher probability plays. Again, I'm not taking all of them. Okay, I'm sticking to what I've told you. I'm sticking to. The rest is up to you guys. I'm just going over for call it confluence purposes. Yes, I mean, since I announced David Bell's coming on, you know what's funny, right? I announced David Bell's coming on down here. I obviously do make the announcements at resistance. I mean, come on. But it's just funny, isn't it, how people now believe it. There. People start to believe it now for some reason. But it's that fucking resistance anyway. I'm just taking a laugh here. But for some reason, you can see how easy it is to influence people on Twitter. It's like, fucking hell, ES are resistance regardless. I could have posted it there and it would have dropped, it would have said the same thing. And for NQ and ES, watch the FX part yesterday. Fast forward it to the dollar index explanation. Fast forward to the NQ and ES part. You can do that yourself. You will see the reason and confluence of the equities for Bitcoin or crypto in general. I won't repeat it here. You're going to have to go watch that. Otherwise, I wasted both of our times. That part's done. And finally, Litecoin. Where are you cunt? I mean, Litecoin, we already know Litecoin. Self-explanatory. Okay? Now, if you missed it, no problem. Don't worry about it. But there's no excuse not to really be in. I told you what the invalidation was. I can't do nothing. There was the trigger then. Look at the chart. Look at the feed. Hang on, let's bring up the feed. There's no excuse why you couldn't take on Litecoin. I am not going to hold your hand. This is not a dick holding competition. You're going to have to take it on your own. And if you don't have the balls, then you're going to have to do some practice. See this here? Garrick is now famous. Obviously, you know I forgot to include the arrow there, but you know what I mean by then. When I do that line, you all know. But there, and look at it now. Perfect. Perfectly hit that mid-range. So if you didn't do that, I don't know what else to say. But pretend you're not already in. No problem. Let's deal with this situation. So I'm already, this is one of them I've taken. You wait, and then see if you can get a pullback. You want support to become resistance. And then there's your trigger. Cut out a clean break, whatever the high is after the bounce, because that's the bounce will give us a new violation. If it goes in one go, we'll have to wait for the market to give us something. Otherwise, I can't make shit up. If you wanted to enter here, it's a bit I don't like it here now because there's the validation. Those that took it early, I know some of you put your stops at break even. Well done. But we're approaching first target now. Stop should be break even. Our first target. If you missed it, well, you missed it. Next trade. Second, target down here as well, and the rest down there. So that's playing out beautifully for us. Nothing more to say. And that's about it for now. So the Dixie is still holding up nicely. We said as long as it holds above here. If you want to know about ES and NQ, watch the FX review I did yesterday, detailed explanation. And let's see how the next few hours unfold. We may be wrong, okay? But the moment we can compound on Bitcoin, I will be posting that live. Since I posted the Bitcoin short live already, real time, I'll be letting you know when I compound on Bitcoin. Clear? Keep your eye on the other feed, members feed, and I'll let you know. Till then, let's see how things unfold. There's nothing much to say. We keep it to what's clear, concise, and high probability only. The rest will come as price unfolds. Take care, and bye-bye.